Hi, I'm Loydeen.
And I'm Heidi.
And we are
The U-Haulers.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, no.
Okay,
So that, you have to explain that. I think we've talked about it once before, but when we were kids and she first got to know me, she found out that my middle name was Joe, and it was as if Christmas came early. I mean...
I've called her that ever since, loudly.
Yeah, it was always yelled from across, Heidi Joe! From across her room.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what we're talking about today, right?
She loved it.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So, the other day,
Yeah.
I did a surprise.
It was pretty elaborate.
Yeah. I don't know if we've ever mentioned the surprise on here, but...
I don't either.
Anyways, I did a surprise. I involved our neighbors. And it was really fun. Should have videotaped it. Because I made her... I had them call her over.
Yeah.
And pretend that they were going to look at...
Decorations.
Which...
is the go-to.
Yeah, pretty much constantly Heidi was saying that she had to go look at decorations, which we did tell you, at our friend's house.
For the engagement, yeah.
She was constantly looking at decorations. Well, this time, they happened to be planning this big party, so she said, come over and look at decorations. And I made my best friend, the same one that lied to me during the engagement, that I made her call, and I told her, I said, listen, you gotta call. And because I can't have Heidi invite me to this thing she's going to, I'm going to have a reason to say no. Because our friend was like, obviously I'd be inviting you too. Like, I'm not just going to invite Heidi. So I said, I'll get out of it. So I said, but you can't, I mean, we use Samsung Galaxy phones and they're really loud. So you can't have a lot of secrets because you can hear what the other person's saying on the phone. So
if she'd called and said, okay, I'm calling you for the secret, I'd have been like, secret? Yeah. What? What's that?
So I was like, you actually have to go along with this. So we came up with like what she was going to, the problem. So I was like, you have to be like, say you're upset. I'll just be like, oh, she's crying. Like, I can't. So she decided she wanted to be an actor. She called and actually started crying. So much so that I actually thought that maybe something really did happen and just happened to coincide at the right time. Because I was like, wait, did this really happen? So she cried and cried. I put her on speaker because Heidi was like, why is she crying? I was like,
I was so worried about it.
I can't go because obviously she's crying.
Right.
So she got the call to go. I said I couldn't. I'm sorry, I'll try to come later, but we have the crying thing happening here.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she left, I said, thank you so much, I gotta go. And I ran out, opened the garage, got this massive projector, little mini projector and massive screen to put up in the backyard, for a movie. Mm-hmm. And our neighbor's husband ran over, made an excuse, pretend like he's going in the garage to work on something, and came over and we set it up. And then he forgot something, or I needed another piece, so he went over there. But the cue for our friend that we were done and to send Heidi to me was that he came home. So I'm like, well, we can't give her the cue. So he went in there and had to be like, oh, it's really a mess. I got to go finish it. I got to go back out to the garage. I'm sorry. And so she knew that it's not done. And so then he runs back, and then it was a windy night and it fell twice. So we had to go get rope and tie it to a tree.
And this whole time I'm over there like, oh my gosh, these are such great decorations. Like, you're doing such a good job. I had no idea.
Yeah, and so then I finally joined her to get her home because I'm like, she's going to take forever to come home because they like to talk.
We do.
And so, and then we were there a really long time. So it was really late night. But when we were coming home, Heidi was like, you know what's funny is every time she would invite me to look at decorations as like a lie to try to for your engagement. She's like, and this time she really wanted me to look at decorations.
Hook, line, and
I was like,
sinker.
oh, did she? I was like, that's amazing. She's like, yeah, it was real this time. So we come in and I just the back door was left open. I'm like, strange. And so I was like, we should shut it.
So then Dean walks over as if she's going to shut it.
And then realizes, why am I the one shutting it? She's supposed to do this. And I need to be videotaping this. So I went back and got the phone. And then I was like, what's out there? I was like, oh, we shut that. Until she walked over. And then she sees this blankets and movie.
What's wrong?
What's that?
What's what?
Oh crap, what is that?
What's what? What is happening? What is this? What are you doing?
So Amy may not have really cared much about those decorations that much.
What is this? Hey.
Aww. Yeah, say thank you to Amy.
Thank you, Amy. The whole whole thing was a setup. That's hilarious. How cute. What is all this?
Oh.
Baby, I loved it. It's so cute. I love it. Cute. Mm-hmm.
All that to say, I had found an old video of us together when we were kids, and I'd never seen it. Yeah,
I hadn't either.
Yeah, so it was
Never
given
seen
by
it
the
before.
program. It was just I had seen like our final films or whatever, but I'd never seen
This was like
this.
a video yearbook. So somebody had taken pictures or videos throughout the whole program we were in, and then put it together.
I'll do that for you. Here, I'll let my hand ready. Joaquin. And Joaquin.
Yeah, and it was a very weird experience for me because I planned this surprise, like, it'll be so fun, we'll finally watch it. I think we were watching, you know, like, we had to do these final projects in this program. I thought that's what we were watching, but it wasn't. It was like dance parties at Heidi's apartment and me on Jay Leno.
So this is your apartment?
Yeah.
I love what you guys have done with it. It looks
It's
great.
a lot of work, believe me.
Oh, jeez.
All right, you want to get ready for your big Baywatch in the water dramatic scene?
And you guarantee me that part?
We can't guarantee it. Only your wife feels sleazy. Right, look out, there's a shark headed this way. Okay, try it again, not your hair. What do you mean he's dead? You're both shocked.
Both shocked?
I just told you he's dead, and you go, what do you mean
I
he's
still
dead?
was so
You're
mad
both
at that because I wasn't over 21.
What do you mean he's dead?
Hasselhoff, you're dead, Pete!
I love it. Amazing.
Anyway. We have two of our young auditioners right here, Kevin. The girls are the 21 girls. Oh, you know, it's amazing to me. There's no other job where you say to women, when you put on a bathing suit and jump in the shower, she's like, they're not going to say it, but it'll be funny. And they go, sure. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. My wife is watching this show very carefully. We'll be right back with Noah Riley right after this. Thank you, guys.
And just a bunch of
Classroom
fun
stuff and editing.
And we were really surprised how often we sat by each other.
Yeah. Neither of us really remembered that about it.
Or sitting on the couch talking, or being in friend groups talking, or the final dinner being together, or just quite a bit of togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
And I did remember that she was like a really big deal to me in the program, and like one of the ones I felt really close to and like thought about afterwards. And that I liked her a lot, and that I'd written her a lot in my final poem. But I didn't remember like sitting in the classroom together or anything like that. So anyways, I'm watching this, and I think it's just gonna be this fun little date that we're doing. But something really strange happened to me. So I'm watching, and every time she'd come on screen, like I would get these butterflies, like intense butterflies. But not like butterflies, like, oh, it's my person. But like, I could feel myself being that, you know, teen, looking at her and getting excited every time she came in the room. And of course, at the time, I had no idea that I had more than friendship feelings for her. I think I just thought that I just wanted her always around, and that she's just a really special friend, and that I would get very attached to friends. So I just thought I was like, you know, attached to her and just was mesmerized by her and want to be around her all the time. But I would get
Which
this.
is not a thing.
I would get this like feeling in my stomach, and my heart would start beating really fast every time she'd come in the room. And it was like I could feel it happening back then. Like, oh, I remembered that's how I felt. And I'd never encountered or thought about that
Or like put it together.
when I looked back on it. But now seeing her come in the room at that age, and all of a sudden, like, I'm feeling all the feels. And I was like starting to get embarrassed. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to hide. I was like turning around. I was like, I want to talk about this. I felt so weirded out by it.
But I was talking to her again afterwards. I said, you know, I think one of the reasons why we didn't have more of like a genuine or like deep connection, right? Or become, I don't even know how to explain it. Like we were friends, we were good friends, and we liked each other, but we didn't like hang out or have these deep long talks or
yeah, we'd like hang
all
out
the
at like
things.
dance parties in groups and stuff.
Groups. And I think I was saying to her, I said, I think the reason that is that you were nervous and like you didn't genuinely connect with me.
Yeah.
Which is so cute.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I literally looked at that video and I was like, oh my gosh, I have been in love with Heidi my entire life.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was really, I was an awkward mess. And like that one of the main, like she was at this dance party at her apartment and she thought she looked so whatever, but she looked so cute and cool and fun. And
No,
she was really
I did
embarrassed.
not. If any of you saw this, you'd be
Well,
like, something
they
is
will be
just-
seeing it, so. Because remember,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So when you see it, it's really great. And,
And I will be embarrassed again.
yeah, so I mean, the podcaster's listening,
Yeah.
but if you want to go see it,
We do have,
a YouTube channel,
and you should
that
all
shows-
subscribe
yeah.
anyway.
So
'cause
subscribe,
there's some fun
like,
stuff on there.
we finally hit. I mean, it's a new YouTube channel that we launched because of the podcast, because we also videotape all of our podcasts, and it just hit 60,000 views and 30,000 on our engagement video. So
So
yeah,
you would be in good company.
yeah. So go check it out. But if you want to see new things that we talk about, because Apple Podcasts and Podbean have video, so if you're one of those podcasters, you can watch it there or on our YouTube channel,
Or on our website.
our website, uhaulers.com, and the YouTube channel is uhaulers as well.
Yeah.
U-haulers.
And
Anyway.
we'd love to have you subscribe and follow along.
On our journey. But so she's dancing in this party.
It's like an apartment party. I mean, you know, back what you did in like high school and
Yeah. So we're in this apartment party, and the roommate of mine is dancing, all my friends, and we keep expecting me, because I like going dancing, to show up. And we're like, I know I was there, but where are you? Why aren't you in the camera? So finally, and I just was like, I really remember, like, oh, I'll just video, like, getting out of it, because I was really embarrassed to dance in front of Heidi. And it wasn't my roommate, my friends, it was just Heidi that I was, like, staring at her the entire time she was dancing and just too nervous to do it myself. And so then watching this again, I was literally brought back to that, where I'm staring at her dancing again and cannot keep my eyes off her, even though all my friends are doing it as well, and I'm just watching her.
And y'all, you have
And
to
just
understand.
behind the camera, and the only time I do come from the camera, like, I actually, like, I'm not like a dancer, but I can club dance. And I, at that time, was so awkward trying. I was just so, oh, it was a mess. I was a mess.
I was not any better.
Oh,
This is what
no.
you have to understand. When you watch this, you'll be like, what? Why was she interested in looking? I mean, this is how you know she was in love with me, because there is nothing good about it.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing.
and the whole thing was embarrassing. Look at you, baby.
Oh boy. Where are you?
I don't know.
You were at this party.
I have no idea. Of course, John's the one that decides everything that everyone does.
Look at Josh in the background. Just sitting there.
No, he's having a blast. Damien. Oh no, Solvik fell.
John just kept getting harder and harder. I'm like, nope, I'm out. Yeah. But it was
So-
really fun and cute to be able to kind of go back and remember, or like be reminded, I guess.
Yeah.
Not remember, but to be reminded of what that felt like. And I think I was kind of genuinely confused by some of how you treated me, because I
It
didn't.
was generally confusing.
I didn't get it. I just didn't understand it, and now,
Well, and that's why when our friend Dawn,
yeah,
that I still hung out with, that I knew from then, when I found out that Heidi had come out and had married a woman and had 3 kids and was now divorced and I almost fell out of the car, that's why the first thing I said to her was, oh my gosh, I think I was secretly in love with Heidi the entire time and just didn't know it. And I kind of said it as a joke, but I was actually, it was like one of those jokes, right?
yeah.
Not a joke. Yeah, and then we had another interesting find today. Because I asked you if there were any thoughts about me. And you
Oh.
waited this long to tell me. Because I was curious, were there any thoughts about, because she had made a joke when we were going to the airport about kissing. And I made a joke back. Hers was more general, but I made a joke back like, well, if it was me kissing you, let's just pretend for a second that it was me kissing you. And I was doing it to kind of be flirtatious in the way of, it was when I'd first come to visit her, and I was, we were just friends, and she was never going to date a woman again. And so I was just kind of trying to fuck with her. And so that's why I would like walk around her house naked all the time. And so then also I was making this joke like, well, if it was me kissing you, because I just like to kind of dangle the carrot all the time. But I asked her, I was like...
Dangle the carrot. Can we never use dangle the carrot again, ever?
So I asked you, I was like, did you ever think about it? And I was very surprised by all the things you said.
Well, but it was, you tied it specifically to, so you'll all remember from one fun night, she's sitting there watching me wrap 1,000 presents and is completely in her head trying to figure out how she's going to make this like make-out thing happen.
Move.
Yeah. And I said to her, I said, well, it was like an hour that she was quiet. And you have to understand, Loydeen quiet for an hour is just it's not a thing.
It's very common.
No, it never happens. So I'm watching her and like, is she upset? I asked a couple times if you weren't feeling well.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. But at a certain point in that night, I was like, oh, something's going to happen. She's thinking about something happening. And so I started coming up with all the reasons it shouldn't.
But she told me, but you didn't just say I was thinking about something happening. You specifically thought I was thinking about us happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. That's what I meant.
Make that clear.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes I use too many words. Sometimes I don't use enough.
So she was like, well, I figured she had never told me that that's what she thought I was thinking about. I just thought she thought I was just being weird in the, other side of the room. But
no, which is why I handled everything so poorly, because as soon as she started to come at me as if she was going to kiss me, everything that was running through my head, like, oh, it's going to be weird, oh, it might be awkward, we might not be able to be friends after this, all those things came pouring out of me in this torrent of like, no, we cannot be kissing each other because...
But she just tells me this today.
I like to keep my own counsel.
I was today years old when I found this out. So she definitely admitted that I had no idea that she knew that's what I was thinking about, and that she was sitting there thinking, oh crap, she's thinking about us, and what if it's awkward? What if this happens? What if, oh my gosh, while she was wrapping presents.
Well, what else was I going to do?
And
like, you're sitting there silently.
You also said that you thought about me in a daydream fashion, I think you said, while I was gone.
No, I said it wasn't a daydream. I wouldn't allow it.
Oh, you were protecting it, but you would...
Because if I had, it wasn't like some kind of big fantasy or something that I was imagining, because it was you. It was like this disrespectful thing that
But
I didn't want
when
to
she brought up the general kissing question, she did that. She said, because
I didn't want, because I was thinking about kissing you.
And that was way before the trip, the one fun night, any of the stories you know about. That was way back.
So none of
in
them
August,
are gonna,
the first time that we reconciled after all these years, the very first time when we were just friends, there was no one fun night, there was no date, there was no nothing. She was never gonna be with women again. We were just platonic. I had a crush on my ex. I went home. All that. And she brought up in the car on the way to the airport to say goodbye to me, brought up about kissing, and it was because she was thinking about kissing me.
Well, look at you. Who wouldn't be?
So yeah.
Yeah. Why is this so big?
It's big.
Why?
We all know it's big.
Is it?
I don't know.
I think
It
they've
seems
known. I
big.
think they've known from the very beginning, because you said things about like me being, sassy with my best friend and being like,
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's like
gonna
I'm
sleep
gonna.
with her, and
When she said, "Don't sleep with her," maybe I will.
so
maybe
see,
I will.
but none of them are surprised at
She
all.
said, "Maybe I will." That is cocky.
See, you're
Maybe
none
I
of
will.
None of them are surprised. It's
And
only
then you were
I don't know
sad.
why you're
Then you were
surprised.
sad when I wasn't in your bed and I was on the couch.
But you said that already too.
I know. I'm just reminding them.
Oh.
So anyway,
So apparently,
well, I
it's big
couldn't have
news.
this episode just be about the fact that I'm awkward, and embarrassing. I was in love with you the whole time. I was like a
You have never been awkward or embarrassing.
goof
about it.
the whole time.
Not about this. You've never been awkward or embarrassing about this. Never.
Okay, that's good.
You handled yourself. I was confused because you felt like you were always holding back. Like you would be this charming, big, but totally connected person with everybody else, and with me, it was not.
I would just shout stories at you.
Yeah, you would just say stories or, just this big conversation, but it wouldn't be like connecting with me. I remember you didn't know very much about me.
I know, very sad. There's a lot to know. I know a lot about you now.
You do.
We made up for lost time.
Oh, I would say.
All right, so I've been in love with Heidi my whole life. And there
I'm
you
so
go.
glad.
There you go. You had a lot of catching up to do.
I plan to.
Took you long enough.
Oh, dear God.
All right, we love you.
Thanks
We
for taking this journey with us.
are getting your messages. If you
Yeah.
want, email us. We are going to be writing you back.
Sorry, it takes us a little bit sometimes.
But we are
But we're
loving
reading
all of
them,
it.
loving it.
Go on YouTube, subscribe, and thank you for listening to our podcast and watching. And we will talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.